Hello, my demons. It's me. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, then click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, click the like button, and don't forget to comment down below on what I should talk about next. Okay, so I tried recording this video, a different video, to see if the recording on YouTube works. No, the record button on YouTube is dumb and it doesn't work. So I have to go live again. So when I'm done with this live, I'm going to title this Good Stories to Read on Episode. And as you now can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about good stories to read on episode. Okay, so episode. If you're not quite sure what episode is this game you can download on the Play Store on your phone. It cannot be on a laptop, only for phones and tablets. I think tablets. Episode is a game where your characters and a story come to life, and your story. It could be about fantasy, drama, mystery, anything you want really. And you can either write your story or you can read someone else's story. I am currently writing a story on my first story. And I've been using Episode for a year now. And I am obsessed with Episode. This app I use daily. I use it more than I use my TikTok. I use it more than I use Instagram. I use it more than every other app that's out there. So basically, episode is your your characters in the book coming to life. And a lot of people love the app. A lot of people don't love the app. It's okay if you don't like it. It's great if you do like it. I love episode, and I know a lot of people they read a story and they can't really find any other. So they run what to read on episode. Well, if you come across this video, please do not click off. Watch to the very end so you. Okay, so some of these stories don't really have like millions of reads on them. Some of them only have like 15K or something like that. Or most some of these stories that I will name have millions of reads. The first story that I recommend you reading is called My Demon Lover. Story number one. This is a story about a girl who makes a wish on her 18th birthday to get a boyfriend, and she ends up having two guys who were brothers and they're demons, and they fall in love with her. Their father is Lucifer, of course, and Lucifer had sent the older brother, not youngest, the oldest brother to kill the girl that he fell in love with. But what Lucifer doesn't know yet is that the girl is still alive, and the son that he had killed the other girl was secretly dating the main character, even though he was supposed to kill the main character. So he ended up killing a different person to trick his father, but his father is going to end up finding out, and I won't tell you what happens next. Okay, they're still continuing that story. That means they're still writing the story, so it's not done yet. Story number two is called Living with the Vampire Brothers. Now, that is a great story. It has 4.1 million reads. The first story that I told you has 13,800 reads. Yes. Now this one has 4.1 million reads. So Living with the Vampire Brothers. It is a great story to read. It had me addicted to it. So basically, this is about a girl where she gets sold to vampires from her foster dad. Like her foster dad sells her. Both of her original parents die, so her parents' friend adopts her. So that's how he becomes her foster dad. And he doesn't want to take care of her anymore. Him and his wife needs money. So the vampires offered him $2 million to sell the girl that he's taking care of to them. And of course, he sells the girl to them, and he knows that they're vampires. And the girl is in disbelief. She doesn't believe that her dad really sold her. She thinks that the vampires are lying to her. But she ends up finding out that her dad, foster dad, really did sell her and does not care if she lives or dies because he knew that the vampires would drink her blood. But they end up sparing her life because all 9 or 8 vampires end up falling in love with her, and she has to choose which vampire she wants to be with. This is going to be a really hard one to choose, so I recommend before you choose which vampire you want to be with, I recommend that you write down everything like the pros and cons of one vampire and the other, and then you choose from there, which is what I'm currently doing. The author is still continuing the story, so the story is not completed yet, but I recommend you go read it. Story number 3 is a story that I'm currently reading called The Kingpin and I. This story has got 4.2 million reads. This story is about a girl who moves from London to get her independence from her parents. And what happens is that she works at this restaurant in Los Angeles and she meets a kingpin. A kingpin is a gang member. He's mastered the gang. He's a mastermind, meaning he's mastered the game. He owns several businesses. He's great at what he does. He's manipulated the system basically. And the kingpin and the main character meet at a restaurant where the girl works. The girl works at the restaurant. So the kingpin goes to eat at the restaurant with his friends, and the kingpin is over the top rude. And so I chose for my character to lose her cool and be rude, and I should never have done that, but the kingpin irritated me. So when my character loses her mind, the kingpin makes sure to put her on a blacklist. She's blacklisted, meaning she cannot work anywhere in LA. He ruins her life. She gets put out of her house and everything. But the kingpin, for some reason, lets my character move in with him. And they end up falling in love and having a daughter. I'm still currently reading the story, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But they do end up falling in love after a year of living together, and I don't know what happens at the end because I'm still currently reading it. Okay, so story number 4. Let's see. It's called Best Mistake. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, but if you have, you should read the story called Best Mistake. It is about a girl who meets a guy who is famous. He's in a famous rock band, and she didn't know that at first because she's not into that type of music. But when she finds out, she's like, she's not happy about it, and she's not mad about it. She's neutral about it. She's in the middle. And they end up breaking up because in the beginning they had a very toxic relationship, but a lot of trial and error brings them back together. I'm not done reading the story. I'm currently reading that. And I'm not going to spoil anything else. Just go take that story out. That's really good. That story has got, I think, reads on it. That's a really good story. Okay, so book number 5. I think I'm on number 5. Forgive me if I already said 5. But book number 5 is The Royal Baby. Now that is a really good book. It has a whole bunch of reads on it. I was very obsessed with that book at a time. So it's about this girl. I forgot the beginning because it's been a long time since I read it. It's been like a year. I really need to start back reading it. But it's about this girl who meets a prince. They fall in love. She gets married. The mom doesn't like the girl because she's from America. And she's in a love triangle between the prince and the prince's brother. And then another one is the princess brother. Everyone thinks is dead, but no one but the mom knows that the princess brother is still alive. So now the prince is at war with his third brother and his second brother because of their brother is after the crown and his other brother is after the princess wife, and basically the mom is trying to get rid of the baby, and you have to read it. It's a great story. Sounds kind of crazy now, but if you read it, you'll fall in love with it. You will. And story number 6 is called Rebounding with Storm. Now, I'm still currently reading this. I know I'm currently reading a lot of stories, but that is a really, really good book, Rebounding with Storm. I'm still in the beginning, so I can't really give you a whole bunch of details on it. I wish I could, but you're going to have to read it for yourself. Rebounding with Storm is about a girl who meets the rock star. They have a one night stand, but Storm is still in love with this girl, even though he hasn't seen her, heard from her, or anything in the beginning. She got out of a relationship that was kind of abusive and toxic, and she leveled up, like Sierra says, and got better, and it got a better man. That's what I meant to say. And I think, yeah, I know they're going to end up together, but I don't know what happens until then. So this other story, number 7, is called Loving Bad. Now I am still in the beginning of that story too, so I cannot tell you everything, but I can tell you it's about a girl who falls in love with this bad boy, and he falls in love with her and everything. You guys gotta go check that story out. I can't give away too much because I don't know the rest. Story number 8. What's story number 8? Can't believe I forgot. Hold on, let me think, guys. Story number 8. You guys should definitely read Haunted by an Angel. Okay, so Haunted by an Angel is about this angel who falls in love with a human, and the human is a girl and the angel is a boy, and the girl human, I named my character Elizabeth on there, so I'm gonna just call the girl Elizabeth. Elizabeth is kind of a whore. She sleeps around with men and makes the men fall in love with her, but she doesn't do relationships. But when she meets the angel Michael, he came up. He was already named, so I couldn't name him a different name. But when she meets the angel Michael, he guides her, and they end up falling in love and everything. And it's really a sweet story so far, and you guys should really check that out. Okay, that's you should really check that out. Um, Story number 10, I think I'm on number 10. Forgive me if I already said 10. But story number 10 is called The Pregnancy Game. The Pregnancy Game is a very great story. I'm still reading that story. It's basically about girls getting pregnant at the same time by the same man. The main character is married, but she can't have kids from her husband, so she gets pregnant by her neighbor who she cannot stand. And I don't know what happens yet because after she gets pregnant, because I'm still reading it. But yeah, you guys should definitely go and check that out. It's called The Pregnancy Game. And story number 11, I think I'm on. I'm on story number 11. Let me think. Oh yeah, it's called Celebrity Boyfriend. Okay, I read the story in 2 days, literally 2 days, because it's so addictive, and it's a great story. Pregnant by a Celebrity. It's about a girl who meets a famous guy, and she ends up getting pregnant by him. But she doesn't really tell him. The mother thinks that she's making this all up, like she's not pregnant by a celebrity, but she ends up really being pregnant by a celebrity, and the mom ends up eating her own words and helping her daughter come back from London. Um, and she ends up marrying the celebrity, and they end up living happily ever after. I will not tell you the full thing because I don't want to spoil anything, and I completed this story, so I know what I'm talking about this time. When I say go read Pregnant by a Celebrity, it is a really good story. Y'all should really go check it out. And after you watch this video, please just go check it out. I read that story in 2 days. Okay, so story number 12 is called it's called Vampire Romance. My Vampire Romance. My Vampire Romance is a story about this vampire who falls in love with a human. The human falls in love with the vampire. It is so good, you guys. Go read that story too. It doesn't have millions to read. It has 18K, I believe. But you need to read that story. It is so good and juicy. I read half of it already. The author is still adding chapters to it. Wish he would hurry up, but writing takes time. So I'm not trying to rush, but that story is good. Okay, that story is good. Okay. Okay, another great story to read. Story number 13 is called Pregnant and Kidnapped. I've read that one. I'm still in the beginning. I read it a few months ago. I just have so many other stories that I'm reading that it's hard to really finish reading that one. But Pregnant and Kidnapped is a really good story, and I advise you all to go read it. I don't quite remember how much reads that it has on episode, but it has a lot of reads, and you should all go read Pregnant and Kidnapped. Basically, you can tell by the title what it's about. A girl gets kidnapped while she's pregnant. I don't know what's happening. I don't know when she's going to give birth, how the baby's going to get healthy if she's kidnapped. Her father disowns her for dating this guy that he doesn't like. And then he disowns her again when he finds out that he's pregnant by the guy, that she is pregnant by the guy that he doesn't like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But yes, you all should go check out Pregnant and Kidnapped. And another story is Pregnant by a Killer. Pregnant by a Killer, this girl basically gets pregnant by a serial killer. He's in a gang. She gets pregnant by him after they have and they also fall in love. She gets pregnant by him, and at the time she's dating his brother, and the brother finds out that he's not the father of the baby, and things explode from there. That story has a whole bunch of reads. It has I forgot, it's in the millions. But my demons, you should go check out Pregnant by a Killer. Okay. Those are some of the best stories to read on episode. I hope you guys liked this video. I'm sorry about earlier with the whole cough thing. But until next time, my demons, bye.